Where's the most remote place on Earth? Why Pope can't be an organ donor? How researchers once turned a live cat into a telephone? Finding the answers to these questions and more will leave everyone around you shook. So, without wasting time, let's jump right in. 101. Headphones can increase the bacteria in your ears. Study suggests that wearing headphones for just an hour could increase the bacteria in your ears by 700 times. 100. Have you ever heard of unicorns in stories? Unicorns are real now. Scotland chose the unicorn as its national animal. In Celtic mythology, the fictional creature is connected with both chivalry and dominance, as well as purity and innocence. 99. Running amok is a medically recognized mental condition. Considered a culturally bound syndrome, a person running amok in Malaysia starts with a period of brooding and then commits a sudden, frenzied mass attack. 98. Thanks to 3D printing, NASA can basically email tools to astronauts. Getting new equipment to the space station used to take months or years, but the new technology means the tools are ready within hours. 97. Our 97th fun fact is that human teeth are the only part of the body that can't heal themselves. Surprised? Teeth are not made of live tissue and are coated in enamel, which can't spontaneously regenerate. 96. When it comes to animal care, Switzerland is one step ahead of everyone. Switzerland prohibits the ownership of just one guinea pig. Since guinea pigs are such social creatures, one guinea pig would get lonely. So having just one is considered animal abuse in Switzerland. 95. Have you ever noticed on Animal Planet that tigers don't just have the striped fur, but also have striped skin? 94. Shrimp is a rule breaker when it comes to heart. Unlike other species, shrimp's heart is located in its head. In comments, let us know where its brain is. Due to the nature of their open circulatory system, shrimp have no arteries. 93. Accidents are bad, right? But in case of ice pops, it isn't true. An 11-year-old accidentally invented ice pops. In 1905, young Frank Epperson left water and soda powder outside overnight with a wooden stirrer in the cup. When he discovered the mixture had frozen, the Epsicly was born. 92. Next time you need to think of something creative, go to the warm shower, according to a research by National Geographic. We are more creative in the shower. The warm water increases the flow of dopamine and makes us more creative. 91. Here's one of the weirdest fun facts about holding breathe. Sloths are the master of this art, leaving dolphins behind. Dolphins need to come up for air every 10 minutes, but by slowing their heart rate, sloths can actually hold their breath for 40 minutes. Number 90. Fruit Loops are all the same flavor despite their different colors. This is such a disappointment, but it makes sense when you think about it. 89. We all know Wright brothers invented first airplane, but did you know? The first airplane flight was on December 17, 1903. Wilbur and Orville Wright took the first airplane on 4 short flights at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. 88. Supermarket apples can be a year old. Are those apples you just bought actually a year old? Well, maybe. Farmers often pick apples in the fall, cover them in wax, hot air, dry them, and then put them in cold storage. This keeps them edible and ready to sell for 6 to 12 months. 87. Most wasabi paste isn't real wasabi. If you've always thought that your store-bought wasabi tastes more like horseradish, you're probably right. It's often used as a substitute since real wasabi is expensive. 86. Venus is the only planet that spins clockwise. Every 225 Earth days, Venus travels around the Sun, but Venus rotates clockwise once every 243 days. 85. People used to say prunes when taking pictures. In the 1840s, it was considered childish to smile for pictures, so it became popular for people to say prunes instead of cheese in order to keep their mouths taut. 84. Nutmeg is a hallucinogen. Because it contains myristicin, a natural compound that has mind-altering effects, you can experience hallucinations if you ingest large quantities nutmeg. Yikes. 83. McDonald's serves spaghetti in the Philippines. The McSpaghetti meat sauce pasta comes with a side of McDo fried chicken. This sounds too tasty to be considered one of our weird fun facts. 82. Competitive art was once an Olympic sport. From 1912 to 1952, artists could earn medals for painting. music, sculpture, and even architecture. 81. Three Musketeers candy bars used to come in 3 flavors. The original candy from the 1930s had 3 different kinds of nougat, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. Unfortunately, it had to be cut down to 1 during World War II due to rations being too expensive. Number 80. The Spanish national anthem has no words. The Marcha Real is one of only 4 national anthems in the world, along with those of Bosnia, Herzegovina, Kosovo, and San Marino, to have no official lyrics. 79. Cat urine glows under a black light. Black lights can be used to detect any body fluids, but cat urine glows particularly bright under ultraviolet light, primarily because it contains the element phosphorus. 78. Here's one of the most uncomfortable fun fact. Before we had toilet paper, Americans used corn husks. Weird, right? 77. The longest wedding veil was longer than 63 football fields. The stunning lace veil was worn in Larnaca, Cyprus, on August 14, 2018, and measured 7,000 meters, 4.3 miles. 76. Kuchisabishi is Japanese for unconscious eating. It describes the act of eating when you're not hungry because your mouth is lonely. 75. The Statue of Liberty was once a lighthouse. About a month after the statue's 1886 dedication, it became a working lighthouse for 16 years, with its torch visible from 24 miles away. 74. British military tanks are equipped to make tea. If the crew needs hot tea or coffee, they can just reach for the boiling vessel inside the tank. 73. Big Ben's clock stopped at 10:07 p.m. on May 27, 2005. It was particularly hot in London that day, 89 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's possible that the clock stopped due to the heat. 72. You can see 4 states from Chicago's Willis Tower. Head to the top of the building formerly known as the Sears Tower, and you can see Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, and Wisconsin. 71. Walt Disney has won the most Academy Awards. The House of Mouse has won 26 Oscars and was nominated 59 times. Number 70. A blue whale's heartbeat can be detected up to 2 miles away, and their hearts weigh almost 400 pounds. 69. Did you know? There's a fruit that tastes like chocolate pudding. Native to Central and South America, the fruit is called black sapote, and it tastes like a combination of sweet custard and chocolate. 68. Mickey and Minnie Mouse's voices got married in real life. Wayne Allwine, Mickey and Russie Taylor, Minnie were married from 1986 to 2019. 67. Queen Elizabeth II was a trained mechanic. As a teenager, Queen Elizabeth II joined the British Employment Agency at the Labour Exchange and learned about truck, engine, and tyre repair. 66. The real name for a hashtag is Octothorpe. While we know that octo refers to the symbol's 8 points, even Merriam-Webster is unsure about the Thorpe part. 65. The Easter Island heads have bodies. We've seen those iconic stone heads, but did you know that in the 2010 archaeologists found that 2 of the Pacific Island figures actually have torsos? 64. Have you ever heard that? The letter J was the last added to the English alphabet. It dates back to 1524. Shockingly, before it became a letter, the letter I was used for both I and J sounds. 63. In a research, scientists revealed that the moon experiences moonquakes just as the Earth experiences earthquakes. They occur due to tidal stresses connected to the distance between the Earth and the moon. 62. Ketchup used to be sold as medicine. Back in 1834, people with indigestion were given a prescription for the condiment. 61. Did you know? You can't hum while you're pinching your nose. Go ahead and try. 60. An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain. Their little brains are genuinely smaller than one of their eyeballs. 59. The longest walking distance in the world is 14,000 miles. You could walk from Magadan in Russia to Cape Town in South Africa without needing a vehicle. 58. Did you know? Humans are the only animals that blush. Some people believe we may be the only animals who feel embarrassed. 57. Here is one of our most weird fun facts. Pigs can't look up into the sky. Due to the anatomy of their neck muscles and spine, pigs are unable to look upwards. 56. The iCarly set was also used by other high school shows. It was the same set used for Saved by the Bell. 55. There are more than 200 Kit Kat flavors in Japan. Japan loves Kit Kats and creates unique flavors for different cities, regions, and even seasons. 54. Are you familiar with the term tongue prints? No? Surprisingly, humans have tongue prints. Just like our fingerprints, our tongue prints are unique. 53. The Eiffel Tower was supposed to be in Barcelona. When Gustave Eiffel's design was rejected by the Spanish city for being too ugly, he pitched it to France. The locals weren't in love with it either, but tourists from around the world flocked to Paris to see it. 52. The shortest commercial flight in the world is in Scotland. The quick 1.7-mile journey between Westray and Papa Westray Islands takes just 90 seconds by plane and costs €15 return. 51. Did you know? Dolphins give each other names. A unique whistle is used to distinguish members in their pod. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our videos. Number 50. There's a Shell garage that's actually shaped like a shell. In the 1930s, Shell built a series of shell-shaped service stations, but only one remains today in North Carolina. 49. Did you know? IKEA rugs were used for the Night's Watch cloaks in Game of Thrones. They shaved and dyed the rugs to make them look like medieval cloaks. 48. A blue whale's tongue can weigh as much as a young elephant. The tongues of some whales are large enough that even an adult elephant could fit on it. 47. Have you ever heard that? Crocodiles can't stick out their tongues. A sturdy membrane sticks the alligator's tongue to the roof of its mouth. 46. There's an ant species that's unique to New York City. Biologists found them in a specific area of New York City and named them Manhattan ants. 45. Santa was illustrated as a tall, gaunt man and a spooky, elf-like creature. Our modern interpretation of Santa Claus with a red outfit and white beard is due in large part to holiday Coca-Cola ads that began in 1931. 44. Did you know? Adolf Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. A Swedish politician actually nominated him in 1939 as a joke and subsequently withdrew his nomination. 43. John Quincy Adams had a pet alligator. After receiving the gift from a French general, the alligator was kept in one of the White House bathtubs. 42. Dogs have a unique nose print. It's similar to a human's fingerprint. 41. The shortest war in history lasted only 38 minutes. It was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Number 40. Ants are incredibly strong. They can lift and carry more than 50 times their own weight. 39. We only see one side of the moon. Since the Earth and the moon's rotations are synchronous, we only ever see one face. It's kind of sad. 38. Giraffes are much more likely to get hit by lightning than humans. Their fatality rate from lightning strikes is a whopping 30 times higher than ours. 37. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. This sounds like a great idea for a math project. 36. Here is the weird fun fact about holding breath. Someone held their breath underwater for almost 25 minutes. On March 27, 2021, Budimir Šobot of Croatia held his breath for a total of 24 minutes, 37.36 seconds. 35. Bananas are radioactive. It's true, as are potatoes, spinach, Brazil nuts, oranges, and granite countertops. 34. All dogs have dreams. Young puppies and older dogs dream more often than adult dogs. 33. There are about 91,000 different types of insects in the United States. Think that's a lot. There are about 1.5 million different insect species in the world. 32. Did you know a shark can blink its eyes? It's the only known fish that can blink both eyes. 31. Deaf people use sign language in their sleep. During a 2017 case study, a 71-year-old man with severe hearing impairment and rapid eye movement disorder was observed using fluent sign language in his sleep. Number 30. Almonds are part of the peach family. Almonds are not true nuts, but rather something called drupes. 29. Have you ever heard that? Animals can be allergic to humans. Not only can dogs be allergic to cat dander and people dander, our pets can also suffer from the same allergens as humans, including pollen. 28. There's a planet mostly made from diamond. The super-Earth planet 55 Cancri E is around twice the size of Earth and is likely made of diamond and graphite. 27. Did you know? Hawaii gets 3 feet closer to Alaska every year. The Aloha State sits on a tectonic plate called the Pacific Plate that shifts closer to the mainland every day. 26. Maine is the only state name with 1 syllable. How did we never notice this before? 25. Did you know? Earth's rotation is changing speed. The Earth is actually slowing down, which means that, on average, the length of a day increases by around 1.8 seconds per century. If you do the math, a day lasted just 21 hours if you lived on Earth 600 million years ago. 24. Bees may fly up to 60 miles in one day. What a hustle! 23. More than half of our bodies are not human. Bacterial cells outnumber the number of human cells in our bodies. Research has found that the average human is around 56% bacteria. Wow. 22. Our blood pressure drops when we pet a dog. The dog's blood pressure decreases too. 21. Los Angeles' full name is El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Ángeles de Porciúncula. How many of us actually knew that? Number 20. Lego bricks withstand compression better than concrete. Before you ask why the world isn't just made of Lego bricks, think about how much just one set costs. 19. Here is one of our most weird fun fact. Your brain is constantly eating itself. Called phagocytosis, this process allows cells to envelop and consume smaller cells or molecules to remove them from the system. It might sound a little scary, but it's a good thing since it helps our brains preserve gray matter. Weird, right? 18. The most remote place on Earth is Point Nemo. Literally, Point Nemo is in the middle of nowhere. Officially called the Oceanic Pole of Inaccessibility, Point Nemo is 1,000 miles from any land in any direction. The closest people to Point Nemo are astronauts on the International Space Station whenever they pass above the point, 258 miles away. 17. Platypuses sweat milk. Since they don't have teats, so the milk just oozes from the surface of their skin. It's not technically sweat though, since aquatic mammals don't sweat at all. 16. Your nails grow faster in the summer. This is probably due to increased blood supply to the fingertips from the heat. After all, fingernails also grow faster in hot countries. 15. In an average lifetime, people eat around 70 assorted insects while sleeping and about 10 spiders. Oh no. 14. Did you know? The moon looks upside down in the southern hemisphere compared to the northern hemisphere. It is simply a matter of orientation. While the northern hemisphere sees the man in the moon, it looks more like a rabbit in the southern hemisphere. 13. Did you know? There's enough gold inside Earth to coat the planet. According to the Discover magazine, 99% of the precious metal can be found in the Earth's core. Are you wondering, how much is there? It is enough to coat 1.5 feet of the Earth's surface. 12. Some sea cucumbers fight with their guts. When threatened, they'll shoot out their internal organs, which are poisonous to predators. They'll sometimes get rid of their entire digestive systems. But good thing is, these organs grow back. Weird, isn't it? 11. Uncle Ben's rice was airdropped to World War II troops. British chemist Eric Husenlaub invented a process of parboiling rice to keep more nutrients in the rice, lessen the cooking time, and stopped bug infestations. The converted rice was airdropped to American and British troops. In 1947, the company rebranded itself and became Uncle Ben's original converted brand rice. Number 10. The true fruits of the strawberry are what we think of as the seeds. Technically, those small yellow seed-like bits are called achenes, and each is a fruit. Inside each achene is the actual strawberry seed. Number 9. Here is our one of the weirdest fun fact. Researchers once turned a live cat into a telephone. Princeton researchers took out a cat's skull and its brain to connect the animal to electricity. When they spoke into the cat's ear, the sound could be heard through a phone receiver in another room. The experiment is failed, but this twisted experiment paved the way for cochlear implant developments. Number 8. William McKinley was shot right after giving away his good luck charm. When greeting the crowd in 1901, he handed a 12-year-old girl his red carnation, saying, "I must give this flower to another little flower." Minutes later, he was fatally shot by a man in the crowd. 7. Scotland has 421 words for snow. There are a lot of weird facts out there, but how many of them involve word choice? In Scotland, yes, there are more than 400 words for snow like feefle, spitters, and unbreak. Number 6. Did you know? There are 5 countries in the world that don't have airports. It's hard to imagine not having an airport nearby for your next family gathering or work event. However, Vatican City, San Marino, Monaco, Liechtenstein, and Andorra somehow make it work. Number 5. Cars can easily reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit. You might be driving along the highway and not notice how hot your car is getting, but when you pull over for a while, your car can reach intense degrees. Number 4. Here's a weird fact you might know. Cucumbers can fight bad breath. If you don't have a mint on hand, use a slice of cucumber. Number 3. The Pope can't be an organ donor. Pope Benedict XVI was issued an organ donor card in 1970. Once he ascended to the papacy in 2005, the card was invalid, reports The Telegraph. According to the Vatican, the Pope's entire body must be buried intact because his body belongs to the Universal Catholic Church. Number 2. Samsung tests phone durability with a butt-shaped robot. People stash their phones in their back pockets all the time, which is why Samsung created a robot shaped like a butt to sit on their phones to make sure they can take the pressure. Believe it or not, the robot even wears jeans. Number 1. The French language Scrabble world champion doesn't speak French. New Zealand native Nigel Richards memorized the entire French Scrabble dictionary, which has 386,000 words, in 9 weeks to earn his title. He has also won the US National Championships 5 times. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel for more fun videos.